86% of realtors drop out within the first 18 months.
Wie schwer ist guy in rief nach companies da rausnehmen der Rat?
Stam dich zu schicken listings in der Welt an, that's defeating the purpose of an agent.
So was sag ich zwischen einer Real Estate Agent und einer Real Estate Broker?
Er hat das gehalten.
Ich weiß nicht, wie es gehalten ist.
Was meint zu sagen?
Fragt geht, aber fragt besser. Fragt besser.
I be gewinnt bei the ports.
Nein, nicht
There's a difference.
Moshe, what's the point von a mortgage?
So you can pay slowly.
I don't know what you're about to say, but gas
Real estate agents.
Ich purchase the house and gange weiter. What's the issue with that?
Okay, so how was everyone in Moshe since the last podcast came out, the last episode? You were
Welche
good?
ist rausgekommen?
Ich weiß nicht.
Ich denke schon, ich halte
And it's
schon
been
mit.
so long.
Sie sag episodes
So
kommen
long.
raus. Ich kann schon nicht mithalten.
Man hakt Stecker eins nach an.
Exactly.
One after the next just keeps coming out. We keep churning them out, but I think there's too little time between episodes.
Halt's du so?
Yeah.
Wie oft kommt das raus? How often?
So, it's basically wir uns rausgeben jeden Montag und Donnerstag, gibt's von jede zweite Donnerstag. So,
I think we
zweimal Donnerstag, jede zweite Donnerstag gibt es nicht raus.
I think once a year is okay.
Once a year? Okay,
Something-
schick a email to talks@latestsimchas.com.
Definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, but it has to be a very, very, very long episode.
Yeah, of course.
You can't. I can talk myself. I can talk for like 4 years straight.
4 years?
I see you were quiet. Everybody wanted me to start talking. Should I start? I'm
I'm
warning you.
Was darf ich responden? I have no
Okay.
idea was ich darf responden.
So who are we here with?
So in Zusammenhang a awesome guest. Einer was tit real estate.
So sagt man.
Also sagt man.
Also so there.
Ja,
At least he claims so. He tells me I'm a real estate agent.
Ich tee real estate, ich draai mich, ich mag, ich help, you know. Something along those lines. Yeah, so
So what's my real estate?
real estate is something that is permanent. That is connected to the ground. It's real estate. It's not personal property.
It's a real
Real property, that's real property and personal property. So the chilek zwischen real property, a garage was attached to the floor, is technically considered real estate.
Mechibele karka.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Very nice.
And what's my karka app is me kennisch gaan van. Karka en de zelen is
Karka
plaats
is-
of een
is
plaats.
ground. It's
It's
earth.
the earth,
Yeah.
the ground, yeah. You can
So-
actually own ground and you can't steal a house.
Okay, so couldn't call dan nomen had me vergessen.
Yeah, Chaim, Blau.
Chaim Blau en was bist die was dan rol?
I'm a real estate agent, realtor, real estate agent, broker. So do a bunch of different titles. Titelig, as everyone sagt. And whatever, it's interchangeable. So it was interchangeable, right?
Interchangeable. in Yiddish.
In
Yiddish.
Yiddish, exactly.
If you know what the word
Yiddish balance.
interchangeable means in Yiddish, please comment.
Comment. So, einer will kaufen ein Haus, oder will verkaufen ein Haus, oder sich zu kaufen investments, whatever, anything that regarding real estate, residential. So, ich nicht commercial. Commercial ist eine ganz andere Sache für sich. Offices, industrial, warehouse, this is commercial. Actually, it's do commercial and industrial, zwei andere Sachen. Aber residential, sie wohnen, primary, other investment properties, that's what I do.
Okay, so what's eigenlijk zwischen a real estate broker, a real estate agent and a real estate broker?
So, like I said, mention it's in the way to interchangeable, the titles, but the actual difference between a real estate broker and a real estate agent, or it's technically called a salesperson, is a broker owns a company, a brokerage, and into the brokerage, if it's a successful brokerage, has the agents, was arbeiten in the brokerage. Now, sei sie nicht auf a salary, right? It's commission based. So, wenn ich verkaufe ein Haus, ist du werde ich bezahlt. Wenn ich verkaufe nicht ein Haus, werde ich nicht bezahlt. So, technically, the broker hat nicht kein Schuden. They're not paying you to be part of their brokerage. Yet, if you machst a sale, machen sie Geld. So, do a split. So, a real estate broker owns a company, and a real estate agent arbeitet zusammen in their company.
So for was eigentlich sagen the actual company? For was dafür Menschen arbeiten für jeden if he's doing the work?
Right. So Chaim calls to do under splits and under the brokerages. So, ich weiß nicht, was du geht in insurance oder wherever, anything you sell that's commission based. In the real estate industry, so it varies. Die kannst du in a brokerage, was sagt, you become a new agent here, 50-50. Verkaufst du Haus, ich nehme 50% und ich nehme die 50%. Dann kannst du in a brokerage, was sagt, zij haben eine andere philosophy, and zij sagen, you get to keep 70 and we'll take 30. So there's different tiers. So there's do a one size fits all. Everyone does what's good for them.
So, right, if you're just an agent and you're not the broker, then you don't have the weight of the company on your shoulders. There's no investments. There's no like, you're not dealing with marketing. You're not dealing with all these
overhead.
things. Right.
All days
Exactly.
And-
So to answer your question, why would somebody not? So first of all, es hat zwei andere licenses. It's do a license for a real estate agent and a real estate broker. In order to become a real estate broker, Mr. Zahn, again, this is all for New Jersey. I want to clarify that. I'm licensed in New Jersey, so ich weiß nicht, wie es
Yeah,
arbeitet.
who wants to touch
in New
Brooklyn?
York and Pennsylvania and all these Sachen. I don't know the laws. Ich had von New Jersey, Lakewood, Toms River, Jackson, wie ich verkauf. Mir sind a licensed agent for 3 Jahre. After being a licensed realtor for 3 years full time, kannst du nehmen nach a course, nach a test. And if you pass it, kannst du auch machen an eigene brokerage.
Wow.
Okay, so für was soll einer beglauen nutzen a brokerage company? Was kann ich nicht gehen auf Google, Zillow, nehmen a Haus aus Chalib und es purchasen unkeinem in between.
Die weiß, wie man kauft aus?
I can imagine ich gehe und ich treffe a Haus aus Chalib und jener gibt mich a Preis und ich sage ihm, ich will zahlen den Preis und sie machen ein Deal und das wird geschlossen.
So die weiß, wie es arbeitet. How long do you think it takes from when you see a house and you like it to close and move in?
Es ist nicht auch ganz Zeit. Es ist,
Warte, du
ich darf, lass mich sagen,
Nimmst du a mortgage?
There's a while.
Okay, so lass mich sagen, ich habe Cash, ja? Lass mal weg einfach
Yeah.
ein Mortgage für a second.
You're ready to drop the entire price, meaning you don't need credit. whatever.
$500,000.
Ich
the
will
house
kaufen ein
costs that
Haus
much, yeah.
zu $350,000. Ich habe $350,000 le Muschel. Ich sage nicht, ich habe, aber ich sage le Muschel. Und ich will jetzt kaufen ein Haus. Ich sehe a beautiful house auf Zillow. Jener will haben 375. Ich bin ready to zahlen 350. Ich komme mal rup und ich suche die und die Sachen davon werden gefixt in order to purchase in der Haus. Man geht durch, macht die Inspection, alle Sachen. I like wie es sieht aus. Ich purchase the house und gange weiter. What's the issue with that?
So, Koidenko, why would you ever purchase a house with cash?
Why not?
Because if you can, there's something called
Gij
leveraging
neemt
money.
het zu der Mic, oder schlepp der Mic, neemt het zu dich.
Besser?
Ja, wat dan is
Yeah. So, there's something called leveraging money. So, if I could, when you're buying a house, we get?
We can keep on fixing him or something?
No, just...
Yes,
Push
he's
it
fine. He's
closer.
fine.
Okay.
I think he's okay.
Too close for comfort.
Yeah.
So
Leveraging.
when you leverage money, so business people try to buy, let's say they was investing in a house, for an example, why would I buy a house in cash if I can take this cash and buy 3 houses and have 3 income producing properties versus 1? Ich verstehe, die guys had 2 on a mortgage, but by leveraging your money, you can make your money work for you. So if die guys had take a kaufen a house for 350,000,
So, ga ich jetzt zurückbringen zu my first question, was my question gewähnt. Für was darf ich haben a broker rather than Stien allein? Ich verstehe...
ich verstehe.
Okay, ich verstehe the fact, als a viele billionaires nehmen daraus mortgages, a viele sie können zahlen für alle Häuser, but also wie das gesagt, basically, sie können nehmen dasselbe Geld und zahlen zu 3 andere Häuser und sie zahlen so mit der Zeit, so
Right.
sie investen in 3 properties instead
Right.
of 1. But für was darf ich weiter haben
A agent.
the agent?
So to answer your question, again, technically people do buy houses without agents all the time. But an agent is dear. He does this all day, every day. And advice we mentioned cannot anfallen. Can't tell you. So first of all, the statistic from for sale by owners actually selling their houses is very low. I believe it's like in the teens. And they end up putting the house on the market for sale. You kind of see in lines of stuff. Why should I pay an agent? And then 88% of those for sale by owners end up listing with an agent.
Because an agent walks you
88%.
through. An
It's
agent
not
walks
only-
you through the process. He
Correct.
knows exactly where you can get confused. If I come over there and I don't have $350,000 to drop on a house right now, what's the process? How do I go about doing things? So he probably walks you through and tells you this is the first step, that's the second step. He knows this in his sleep. Sellers don't actually know. Not a lot of that, whatever. And they're not trained for this, probably.
Right.
I'm assuming you're trained to
Correct.
walk people
So
through.
in order to become licensed, you have to go through a course. It's a 75-hour course in New Jersey, and then you have to take a state exam, which is about 4-hour class. A 4-hour
Is this
test.
like the 5-hour driving test?
No,
We can
no.
just pay someone?
Actually not. You can't. Again, I know a lot of people who failed 2-3 times before they passed.
You can auch the driving test. I know plenty of people.
No.
They're sitting over there now in the DMV.
Ich habe gegangen nehmen the driving test, ich bin the course. Ja, ich bin 7:30 meine ich, 8:30 habe ich gehabt de gasten in Williamsburg. So deze ik ben in Bar Park 7:30, 5-hour course en nog gehad 8:30 gasten in Williamsburg.
Right.
Simon, so you actually went down to a place?
Yeah, sure.
I just called someone up and he said,
Wie
okay,
ze
just
daar
send me
wat doen.
$100 quick pay. Boom.
So happens to be the state you have people who know the ins and the outs. It's not the state of New Jersey. There's a real estate commission that oversees everything. Now, if you want to have a fraud who technically says you took it and took the course, and now you have to take a state exam. So in order to take the state exam, you're literally sitting in a quiet room, has 50 cubicles or however many, and you're sitting with an alte, große, grabbe computer. So slow. You can see the pixels on the screen, old mouse, and you're going through these multiple choice. I don't know exactly, I don't remember how many questions, but 4 hours. So you can do it in an hour, you can just go through, but then you're not thinking about the questions. So once you pass that, so to answer your question, why? Because you're going to do yourself. First of all, as a buyer, die tools nicht kein real estate agent. Only a seller pays. I don't think I said that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a buyer does not pay a real estate agent.
Just in New Jersey or New York as well?
I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it's across the United States.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
So essentially, as a buyer, you're getting free service from a professional. Now, how do I get paid if I'm working with you? Through the seller. So the seller's agent, if there is a seller's agent, if it's a for sale by owner, it's a 200 masse. But if, let's say, I approach my neighbor, ich weiß, will verkaufen mein Haus, and whatever the commission I agree upon. Now, if I bring the buyer myself, I get the whole thing. But generally, most deals happen with another agent, a buyer's agent. So when you have a buyer's agent, the seller's agent splits the commission, the listing agent / seller's agent splits the commission with the buyer's agent. So to answer your question, why should you use an agent to buy a house? Because you're getting a free service.
So, wer sind deine Customers? Deine Customers sind nicht die, was kommen wollen kaufen ein Haus?
Beide. Ich hab sellers and buyers.
So a real estate agent have groot met mensen was willen verkaufen een huis, rather for mensen was willen kaufen een huis?
No. So it depends how well connected you are with people. If you're a social butterfly and you can't hundreds of people, chances are one of them, if they own houses, they're going to sell. They'll use you if they know that you're good. But most agents, when they start out with buyers more than sellers, because it's a lot harder to convince someone to pay you a commission than to work for free. You're not paying me anything anyways, and you're doing what you got to do.
Right.
So,
I had a question. What should people, let's say, look for in a real estate agent? People are looking for you never know who you're going to get.
Right.
What's a good sign?
Right. First of all, do your research. Ask people. Most of my clients are word of mouth.
So what are we looking for when we're doing research?
So let me ask you, if you have a friend who bought a house, right, and he used me, and he said, Chaim was amazing. It was amazing. So you're going to ask him, why was he so amazing? He was honest. He was on top of things. He was aggressive when he needed to be aggressive. He didn't push me to make a move that I wasn't comfortable with. You want someone who guides you in the right way, tells you black and white what you need to do in order to get it, or where you can push. There's something called a fiduciary, which means that when I take you on as a buyer and you're my client right now, it's not about me anymore. It's about you 100%. I don't look at commissions. I don't care about that. At least a good agent shouldn't.
So I have a friend, Lamushal, right?
Yeah.
He's doing a fix and flip house, right?
Okay.
And he was looking for people to sell his house. See, he's not a buyer, he's a seller. So a seller also has to look for someone.
Yeah.
So what he did, I don't know if it's okay in the world of, basically he wanted to interview a whole bunch of people. Who's the best one? He called them all at once.
All at once? Okay.
He called them all at once. This is what he did. And they came to his house, and a few people started fighting with each other outside that he called us all at once, so they started fighting for the house, kind of. And so right away he knew that these people are not the ones that he wants. He's not going to deal with someone who has to fight.
Right.
And as he's interviewing a bunch of people, telling them about the house, asking them what they offer, at least he can see everyone at once, and they'll give him the best offer. It's a mahalach. It's a little weird, but it's a mahalach. And someone comes in with a Mercedes and the zwei Menschen in a suit. They look much more professional. Kimt that on, and he gives him a stack of papers. He did his research beforehand on his house. Kimt that on. He has renderings of alles. Here you go. This is what I offer. He critiqued him, he complimented him on his house, and he stuck with him. Do you think this is a mahalach to do? You think it's okay?
I wouldn't, again, if I was ever in such a situation, first of all, I would most likely do what this other guy did. I don't know if I would show up in a Mercedes, but I wouldn't be fighting it out in front of everyone because it's ridiculous. First of all, I don't need people knowing my tactics. If I'm sitting in front of 30 agents, I do what I know works, what's proven to work. So I would be like, here's my card. call me when you want to discuss serious business, and we'll talk one-on-one. I'll tell you what I have to offer. I'm not going to compete with 30 agents in one room. Like, what is this, a bidding war or something? You know,
Yeah.
class, ich ken this thing, you know, that type of thing. So,
Yeah, but as a seller, Lamasa, he wants a bidding war.
Zayasach Industries, by the way, arbeiten auf bidding.
Correct. The whole construction,
Government nimmt bids from
correct.
Middle.
But it's not all in one place, right? You put in your bid. It's a closed bid.
It's nicht in a room zusammen, but it's
But nobody knows what the other person put in.
But you might
Right.
get the
You
best
put
price.
in, right. In Lakewood, that's a huge problem with Lakewood. At least I used to be an electrician, so I was in the construction field. So when we would do brand new duplexes. Duplexes was jeder woont in Oakenvine, bist du in Oakenvine. So duplexes, 2 houses connected.
Right.
So I would rough is pulling the wires from when you walk in. It's a wooden shell, and I have to put electric throughout the entire house.
Yeah.
So I would do that. The problem is that when there's a bid and you obviously want to get the job, so everyone's outbidding each other, lower, and your profit margin shrinks and you make so little. Now, if there's a hiccup on this house and you end up spending there a day extra, you're losing money already.
Right.
So I saw that and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I was thinking I want to, eventually maybe become an electrician, but I'm like, I'm going to work like 5 years to get a license in order to outbid everyone and make a tiny profit. So that was like a turnoff for me in the sense of in the construction industry. But that's, yeah. So
machen Menschen Geld. People work hard for money.
Real estate, Lamasa, even if you don't make every, let's say you sell 20 houses, every 20th you'll make a lot of money, and it's just worth it that you won't lose money off it. You can. There's always another house to
Ja,
sell.
aber da sagen geniga gute Menschen kennen
Right, but that you can work on yourself. But it doesn't take that. It doesn't take like.
It
I have to
depends on
wait
the
until
personality.
until then you're losing. Okay, you're never really. I'm assuming you're never really losing money when you're selling a house.
when you actually sell a house,
Yeah.
you make money.
Pink
Right.
for kids.
So every house you
You're
make
not
some
make-
money. Some houses you'll make more money, but
You're not making money until you sell.
Correct.
So there's a huge
You're not
turnoff
right. You're not.
of
So
Menschen.
so
okay,
80.
so you have to really.
I
be a
think
good
it's
person like that.
86% of realtors drop out within the first 18 months, a year and a half. Drop
So-
out.
So where are you up to?
I'm over 3
You're over
years.
it.
I'm over 3 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's saying something, right?
Yeah.
Baruch Hashem. But yeah, so that's the idea behind being a real estate agent is being there for the other person. It's not about you.
En was is takke the process van koop van een huis? Wie hebt ze gezien? Wie eindigt het? What is the process?
So actually, you guys have this podcast, which is amazing. I'm a fan, by the way. I watch it every week. I'm not just coming on for the first time.
Thank you.
Yiddish entertainment, I think it's phenomenal. So keep going.
Thank you.
But
If someone knows the word phenomenal in Yiddish, please type
Yeah,
in
please.
the comments.
Help for those.
Is English phenomenal.
phenomenal Yale, yeah.
Spell it however you want.
So good job on that. So I actually made a YouTube channel myself just for real estate. It's under my name, Chaim Blau. Anyone wants can go take a look at it. It's pure education. It's
put
not
the
even
link.
entertainment. Yeah, you can put a link.
Link in the description.
Exactly. And the idea over there, I have how to buy a house, 7 steps how to buy a house, and it's broken down. Obviously, you can't put it into a video, the entire process. And there's no one size fits all. Every person has a different circumstance under the situation. So the idea, how it starts, is first of all, you does wissen, wo die kannst kaufen. So going back, I don't think you're going to buy a house in cash, right?
No.
You're probably going to take out a mortgage.
100%.
So-
Ich ga gefragt in cash zu rausbringen
ja,
der Terrace.
verstehe.
Das ist nicht-
You didn't
I would
invest enough
nev-
in Dogecoin.
I would never buy a house in cash, even my own house, because it doesn't pay.
Right.
I personally would. I'll tell you why. Because I'm a very big believer in being debt free.
Okay.
And
Dave Ramsey?
hey, Taka, it's as a person, he has like a whole process, a whole how you get debt free and how you can actually start making money. Everything is
Ich
profit.
kann dich fragen a question.
Yeah,
Owning a house is an asset or an expense?
it's an asset.
Asset versus
and it's an
liability. That's the way you
and
look for,
no,
right?
so
Okay.
Lamasa, regardless whether it's an asset or it's an expense, it's still you're paying monthly for something more than you have to. When you don't own your house until you own it. Even after you own it, you don't own it because the government cannot come in and say bye.
What's the point?
Technically, I'm in the domain.
Moshe, what's the point for a mortgage?
Eminent domain, by the
So
way.
you can pay slowly.
Huh?
You can pay slowly.
Wat is the point van een mortgage is?
Let's hear.
Als de dollar wird weniger value die jede jaar. Ze valt de value. Wenn die nimmst raus a mortgage, zahlst die jetzt mehr, but eventually noch 30 jaar gaat de zijn sach cheaper because demels is de dollar sach weniger wert.
You know what else happens when the dollar is worth less? I make less, and I can't pay. When the dollar goes down, it goes down exponentially, right? It goes down more and more and more. When I can't pay monthly a mortgage, I don't care if the dollar's worth less. I still can't afford
Die
it.
Geist machen in 30 Jahren Sachen mehr, because man geht doch bezahlen mehr per Schuh, Geist machen mehr, und es geht doch noch alles kosten derselbe mortgage.
No, but dollars worth
Versus
less.
jetzt herupleigen der ganze Geld.
I don't think that's the reason why people take out a mortgage. So first of all, most people cannot afford a house in cash. That's
step one.
Nein, ich rede von Menschen, was haben ja.
Viele was haben ja.
Von was nimmt Mark Cuban raus auf jede einzigste property on mortgage?
Because he's leveraging money. So right now, everyone is happy. Everyone wins at this point. And again, you have to obviously, there's different types of loans. So if einer is fährt sich gut out und kauft the house, a 30-year mortgage, he'll have to pay beyond his retirement. So a 15-year mortgage might be more beneficial for him, even though he's paying more on a month-to-month basis. But ich will wissen, but the sagt sich, ich kann nicht expenses. So that's why I can understand, if you're a young guy in your 20s, there's no reason for you to pay off your whole house. You're working. You're making money.
I know, but you don't know that. This is not.
It's a fixed rate.
Sure.
You could take out a 30-year fixed rate.
I know, but you don't know how much you're going to get paid. You don't know how much you're going to get paid in the future. Right now, you have the money.
So you can sell your house.
Now, this house.
You could sell your house.
But then you have to buy another one.
No, you don't.
You have to rent.
Rent
and mortgage in a lot of places are the same amount.
Another thing I'm going to tell you, by the way, in the short term, buying a house is more expensive than renting. Way more expensive. In the long run, it pays off because you have an asset and it becomes, and by the way, you asked before if it's an asset or a liability / expense. I consider a house that you're living in a money pit. That's the real truth.
So gesehen Yiddish.
A money pit means die warst daran Geld dort wegen the dance. You like it and you do things with emotions. I like this house. Ich will machen schön. Ich will haben mal schön the paint. Ich will haben mal schön the floor. So,
it's not yours. It's not yours until it's yours.
Dan car is auch nicht
It's not. No, you know exactly why I would buy a car.
What do you mean? Your name is on the deed. Your name is on the deed. You're the owner.
A deed is a
thing that's gebar Geld von a third party, but it's nicht dein Geld, but it's dein Haus.
Could you sell the house? Could you sell the house?
Yeah.
That's yours.
But I
can't sell something that's not mine.
I want to ask you a question. What did I want to ask?
Wenn die bargs Geld von a friend, sie kaufen a cookie in the grocery, ja, is es aus dein cookie? Weil es ist jenems Geld. Es ist dein cookie, aber du darfst ihm zurückzahlen.
Can I ask you a question now? If I buy this, right? I buy a bottle of water and I decide I'm not paying for it yet. I'm paying little by little, right? At any point in time, if I can't pay it, someone can go and take this away from me. The original owner can go and say, bye-bye.
Okay.
Right? So now, this is not mine. It's mine, but it's not fully mine. I don't care. Deed is just the word.
So wenn sich wie so ist es dann.
It's not mine.
Again, let me tell you something. Here's my question to you. If you're paying this off little by little, could you sell it?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Then it's yours.
But I'm still in debt. Because I'm going to have to find another
fine.
place.
So wenn sich die jene dich ist gegeben unzu, meint, Thomas ist aufgelegt of the grocery bill, und die bezahlen Bills, kommt, nehmen alle deine Sachen sein, sagt, aber ob das geborgt von einer third party, von einer $2 gekauft der Wasser, ist der Wasser weiter down.
Yeah, but in your head, the way you feel, you're meshibed still to something.
I don't think...
Die bist nicht meshibed der Wasser, die bist meshibed der $2.
Doesn't matter. Something there. And now, but this...
So, you do know, by the way...
Dann muss keiner nehmen dein Pen auch. Dein Pen ist wert
$15. If you hire a contractor to do work for you in your house that you own, that you bought in cash, and die Zulstem nicht, he can put a lien on your house.
Right.
And they can take... So
which
even
is why
if you
I
buy
would...
it in cash, even if you buy it in cash, it can be technically taken
100%.
away.
And that's why I think that everyone should pay for everything right away. Why would you
Most people don't have $500,000 or even $300,000 just laying in your bank account.
So don't buy yet.
But, so again, all this time, when you take out a mortgage, you're building equity. It's my instead of me paying rent for 5 years where I have zero benefits. First of all, when you have a mortgage, you have tax benefits and all that stuff. But aside from the benefits that you get on a yearly basis, after 5 years, ich habe schon herangelegt 5 Jahre von Geld, wenn ich verkaufe der Haus, I get it.
Okay.
Versus rent in 5 years, I got no benefit from. I was living.
So I guess what I'm saying is that if obviously if you don't have that money, meaning if you can't buy a house yet, then obviously take a mortgage. Do whatever you want. But if you have the money to just throw at it, I really feel I would do it.
So if you have the money to buy for it, then you're generally a business guy usually.
Yeah.
And you would invest your money it will make your money that you invest, that you take out a mortgage and the money that you have left over, invest that in the market or in another real estate property, you'll make more money. And then you'll be able to pay off this house.
The point is everyone that has money or doesn't have money and can have access to Geld, jeder eine will grow in sein Portfolio. Jeder eine will bekommen mehr. Die lebst a certain amount von Juden. Kannst nicht warten, bis das wird auch gezahlt zu kaufen noch eins.
So personally, I think it's in the head, let's say. but he mentioned this other person that has this as a step by step. How do you actually start thinking like a businessman? I think it's in the mind. When you don't have to pay monthly, meaning if you have barely any expenses monthly, you're not in debt. That's the first time where you can actually start feeling like you're making money, meaning you're starting to actually make money. I'm in it. And when you drop it on a house right then, and everything is paid for, your car, your house. I know you're paying still taxes and everything, property taxes, but it's still very, very, very little. Everything after that is profit. Everything. It's not like some of it goes to the payment, some of it. Everything from there, it's like a reset button, I think. That it's like you press this button, you pay all the money, everything, your car, your house, everything. From then on, you can build whatever business you want. You have zero expenses, no dagas.
Jeder einzigste Business hat Geld, was kommt daran, Geld, was geht heraus, Geld, was sie zahlen für den Platz, Geld, was sie zahlen für die Employees. Sie wissen nicht, wie sich Geld auch kosten jeden Tag. Sie haben nicht keine
So because everybody does this in
business,
okay?
So zu haben, wir sitzen dann live, kein Business. Ein riesiger Business ist kaum nicht
business and personal are two different things. But you know what I'll answer you? You know what I'll answer you? I'll answer you like this. There's no one size fits all. I think it varies from person to person. I'm personally a structured person that I know I can take out a mortgage and I'll continue to make my monthly payments.
I love debt. Weißt du was? I love debt. Für was habe ich so stark lieb? Because ich nehme jenems Geld und ich mache Geld auf jenems Geld.
Correct. Let me ask you something. When the bank takes money from people, right? People put money into their savings account. Do you think it's sitting in a box? No. They take this money and invest it.
Move it around.
Why? Sure. Because you make more money on the money. You make money work for you instead of you working for money. So now I'm not saying buying a house in cash is a bad thing. It might be more beneficial for certain people. If you're retiring, buy a house in cash.
Ja, aber gered wenn ein Mensch singen.
Yeah, absolutely.
60, 70-jährige Mensch.
Right. When you're retiring, buy your house in cash if you can.
So what would you say? If, let's say, you had a choice to make a mortgage for 10 years or 50 years, you would take 50 years?
50 years, no, because when I'm in 50 years from now, I'm going to be over 65, and I don't want to make payments.
So let's say up
30
until
years.
65.
So first of all, I don't even think there is no 50-year mortgage.
Let's say you had a chance. I'm saying
if I had
theoretical.
a chance, theoretically, and I would have much smaller monthly payments because it's split up into 50 years as opposed to 10 years, I'd probably take 50-year mortgage.
I would definitely do it because, as ich gesagt, the value von der Dollar fällt und wir machen mehr Geld.
But Rav Menschen trachten nicht so.
Also, the value doesn't have to fall. The value doesn't have to fall. You don't know that.
Kick heran in de Cheshbon von Geld. Ich will nicht heranbringen der Topic, aber ich werde es später. Gehst du sehen, als ein größer Part von der Reason for was Mortgages werden gemacht, is because the Geld fällt in value. Because dann Payments in Jahren nach ihm geht sein billiger.
It's not 100%, you don't know that.
You know that 100%, weil the dollar is controlled and sie machen, also fallen bei
I know, but what's if currency changes? What's if they decide randomly? We're getting close to that, right? Randomly, the currency can change or it could be backed by something else. Something can happen.
Was there an interesting thing?
There was just a house, by the way, sorry to cut you off, but the house that was bought, sold with Bitcoin.
I'm assuming it's not the first one.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Come on.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
that means
how many
Bitcoin?
4 Bitcoin?
Whatever, yeah. 53,000 for one, right?
How much is the house? How much is the house?
It's actually 55 now.
55 went up.
6 coins. Right, so Flegzan, I heard this from someone. So Flegzan, like, used to be like, how much is that? Money. How much? Geld. Used to have like a sack.
Yeah, but it had a money symbol on it.
Right, exactly. There's a du hast and you can get whatever you want.
Einige wissen a picture, sei a valid point, as the Geld, lass mich sagen, der Haus wird sich verkauft, lass mich sagen, für 700 Stücklich Gold, ja?
Ja.
Okay, whatever, 500 Stücklich Gold. Rendlich, whatever.
Golden and rendlich. I used to think it's like these little gold rings.
No.
I don't know why I decided that maybe rendlich.
Yeah.
But ringelig and rendelig means becomes rendelig. So golden and rendelig. In we're not going to get into it.
Okay. Sorry for asking.
If you want to know, comments.
Okay.
I won't tell you, but you can try.
I know.
So gewissen, als, lass mich sagen, so kost 500 Stücklich Gold in 1989 und jetzt verkauft sich, sie gewähnt, damals gekost a certain amount, the dollar, sie gewähnt, let's say, sie gewähnt $35,000 home.
Yeah.
Und jetzt, in 2020 hat sich dasselbe Haus verkauft, lass mich sagen, für $235,000.
And the same amount of gold.
Gewähnt, dasselbe
same amount of gold.
Right. It's called inflation, right? That's what we're talking about. Inflation.
Beautiful.
Seht ihr eine Vakantie nicht weit von euer Heim? Wilt ihr zustellen ein Geschmack Shabbos für eure Familie? Hat eine Simche in Lakewood? Seht ihr eine zeitweilige Dier in Lakewood? Lakewood Hosts ist euer Empfer. Die höchste Standard Villas, Dieres, rachwesdige Hase, zugestellt auf den schönsten Vernehmen, luxurious in Rach. A kuschere Kitchen. In rachwesdige Zimmern. Herrliche Esszimmern für die ganze Familie. Wir wollen keinem Schmied werden für die Zufriedenstellung unserer Customers. A Vakatie bei Lakewood Hosts wird sich gedenken von lange Jahren bei Israel. Lakewood Hosts, der Symbol für Qualität und Service.
So what was the question?
By the way, the Rav Move and the minds that's gelost, a voice note Hashem Sachen Zeit. Kim circa Tag später, the erste Seven was like, wow, gemeint ich stamm geplappelt in der voice note. Na der Wahl ist es.
It's full of information?
Yeah.
That's a narcissist. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're on? Are we good?
We're back.
Matti.
We're back. Mic check.
All right, so
And
what were
Elmar's
you saying?
business, yeah. You're speaking about opportunities. He's doing something. So ich denk, when I sold my first house a year after I became an agent, and the buyer was looking at an area, I bought a specific area. The house is very expensive there. $1 million houses. Obviously, in Tom's River.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I can't afford, and he was very real with himself, but he wanted to be walking distance. So, ich weiß schon wie so, da habe ich der Ziege gefiert. Ich habe getroffen nach Hause. 7-minute walk. Agents haben gewissen, der Haus am Menschen. The house was a hidden gem. The owners, the sellers, they were going through a divorce. I get, goyische Menschen. And they dropped the price from $550 to $525 to $470. I ended up getting him the house for $450,000.
Oh wow. What's
Yeah.
the value? 7?
So it was listed initially at $550, $560 somewhere there, and it came down to $450.
This was your first sell?
First out, yeah.
Wow.
And the house gorgeous. So I didn't know. Ich nicht gewusst, dass er wohnt a Yid auf jeder Block. Ich habe gemeint, es ist Goyim. Walking 7 minutes. He's older. Maybe he's coming from Bar Park. Older, whatever, middle age. And a kid said, and he closed on it. But when we walked in, he was real. Got an imagination. I the hose. So I got a bisschen schmeck. A finished basement that had a gorgeous backyard. It was like a stickel pizza lot, but it wasn't narrow in the front. It was wide in the front, and it became wider and wider as you went to the backyard. So I got a basketball court, mit a pool, in grass and everything because it had such a wide backyard. So he loved this house. And then later, after he ended up finding out next door woont a Yid, and noch then after he bought it. Somebody knocked on the door, and Nachida gekauft the house right next door. So I draai enough a block, and he's perfect where he wants to be.
Nice.
Wow. See, now I know why you stayed, because that does something for your motivation.
Absolutely. When I got to that
Amazing.
closing table, he was smiling ear to ear. I know a picture. I think he smiled, and he talking about a well-known person. I don't want to give it away. I don't know if he wants to know, but a well-known person. Mention Weiss name, and he was so happy. Gets with them Vab, and Ken's kid that I'm friends with us. That's how I actually got them through his son. But
I think I know who it is.
Ken's
We'll talk privately.
Yeah. A kid said. But the point was that, and after he purchased it, he didn't move in right away. He hired a contractor, and I think he put in about $10,000 or $20,000. So just to give you a little bit of a rough number, most people when they do work in a house after they close on it, lying around generally a minimum of $50,000 because once you're doing it already, tis days, you don't know how quickly it adds up.
Right.
So it had not gedacht like it's $20,000. I walked in, finished the candle house.
Wow.
Then I got the food lights, imagination. You walked in, I'm sure jeden haben gesehen, der Host. It's not in a good block.
People with a vision. Menschen mit a vision können auch sagen warten wie anyone was hat nicht.
Sure. And that, yeah.
Kann sein, sei groß in an industry, and if you don't have a vision,
Or
lässt es
imagination.
zusammenfallen.
Imagination.
Right.
A vision comes from imagination.
Correct. So do I know jetzt, there's a new mall coming in the Belze Gegend in Lakewood, a shopping center. So I mean, it used to be a grocery. Yeah, it's a guy's in Yankel's grocery. It's like a stickel. It looks like a.
Related to the garbage truck?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. The kid said it was in a like the gyms, the basketball gym, indoor basketball gym, like the metal walls, like they have in camps. They have it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was like. Yeah. And his grocery was there. I mentioned him in Dutton, and I had this opgekauft, heb an investor or whatever. And like Dutton jetzt erof probably 15 stores. And it's not off a main road. It says off a road versus off a main road. And macht es modern. gorgeous, a vision. Ega had a vision, and it's amazing what you can do with imagination and determination. Instead of just going with everybody, go with the flow. Like, if you would see that, you're like, oh, this place is garbage. Like, if that came out on, the flag on geld,
Yeah.
imagination can do
Ich
that.
rede verzeihen story. Ich habe a relative, was hat invested in real estate. Juren zurück. Gewinnt mit a bunch von friends. Hat invested in real estate. Anyway, so you come to ein property in buildings. I'm invested in buildings. There's ein building in a certain neighborhood. As jene building is like a few $100,000 less than the andere. And zijn alle zich gewinnt, like, what's the deal? What's the zaak billiger? So we go man umgehen dort in the neighborhood. Kijkt ein building nach building. Is ongegeben eventually today. The building was is. Anyway, zij komen dort doen. En zij hebben een vragende mens wat the problem is. The problem is, as kind of what nicht so. Was heißt kind of what nicht so? Ist eine leidige building? Ja, ist eine leidige building. So was the issue being for kids is perfect. Sagt so du, also ich sag animals, rats, cats, was die willst nicht in der building, as when anyone come to own, they don't want to touch
You
it.
want that
Fantastic.
headache. Yeah.
So, zij alles zijn naar weggegangen en schon mal Israel. My relative, kijkt op deze als opportunity.
Absolutely.
Ze doen rats, doen zaken. Was dit man? Maar die
You make
Steiner
a
was
zoo.
neemt daar weg rats.
Exterminator.
Oh no!
Ex-
What? Oh no! No,
What?
I thought you make a zoo.
Oh,
It's a zoo. Came on, see our rats.
That's one opportunity.
ja.
Yes.
Or you can get rid of them.
So,
I never thought of that.
so wie schwer is een guy in de rief naar companies aan roos nemen de rats? Eindig is ook die daar Steiner roos nemen rats?
I'm sure so give may have problems with rats, but the point is to rehab it.
En nicht nur dem, als ik gezegd dat ze zeggen naar ergere condition, wie ze gewend, als hij aufgekleed was, met kijken wat gewoon stimmen der Platz. En het bekam van nog billiger. Ik heb gemaakt de ganze dag. And he made a huge profit off it, because that was a hidden gem.
That's a fix and flip.
Ja, but gezogen.
Or fix and hold, I should say. Het is gehouden.
Ik weet niet, she is gehouden.
Oh,
Zijn
that's
eerst,
okay,
whatever, gewoon is gered.
One of the
Ziet er
two.
details met hem. But point being
Usually
is,
people who buy expensive, they don't talk. You know, you try to get information out of somebody that made it. Like, he'll give
They
you a
don't
little
tell you
tidbit, a
anything.
snippet, but they don't, you know what I'm saying?
Unless you're Donald Trump,
Then you don't stop talking about your goals and your
I
accomplishments.
make so much money.
en keiner weiß nicht wieviel.
$78 and $78.
Fake it till you make it. But once you make it,
Don't fake it.
that's still.
Perhaps that's Elon Musk made it. I was just watching this little clip. It shows all the richest people through, I think, from 2008 all the way till now.
Yeah.
In the last year and a half, he went from, like, I think 30 to 1. In like, it went so
Yeah,
quickly.
geflogen,
So,
yeah.
gezien this? It's so amazing. En lacht van jedem. By the way, is against the ganze lockdown van de
I know.
COVID.
But is geschehen angemischt en gewoon nicht.
He's very neutral in general.
He doesn't like to get political, but if it hurts him, don't shut down my factory.
Wie houdt die,
Yeah, that's
wie
why he
houdt
moved.
die is of the spectrum van Democrats and Republicans?
I think
right
he's
and left?
neither.
Wie auf een spectrum is er?
I think when
Right.
you have that much money, it doesn't make a difference to you. It's whoever
Ich-
you
ich
can
ha-
get
Why
your
do
way.
you- let me ask you,
Ich
why
houd-
do you care?
Ich
Why
houd
do you
es
care?
niet to the center, but een bisschen rechts. Ich halte
can't
es
know.
dort.
You
It is a
can't know.
capitalist, that's for sure. So capitalists are generally Republicans,
Republican.
right? And it's kan socialist. De wil niet nemen. De
Direct-
dragen mensen
Nein,
geld.
socialists and extreme Democrats. Don't say Democrats are
No,
socialists.
I didn't say that. I said generally the socialists are Democrats.
Far left.
I think he's probably classical liberal. Like he's what liberals used
Libertarian.
to be.
He's
No, he's not libertarian because I know that he believes in government mandating, let's say, global warming. He believes in that.
Because he has a passion for
Right,
global
so he's
warming.
he's a classical liberal because he believes in government controlling certain things and telling you what to pay for. He
By
believes
the way-
in protecting the environment.
By the way, for the audience, what's the zwischen Republican and Libertarian?
Republican
Gaat
and
was ich
Libertarian?
frage is, because pinkt dat Menschen weißen iPhone und Samsung, weißen Menschen Republican and Democrats. Menschen, wenn ich habe OnePlus device, ja, Menschen fragen,
Yeah.
ich sag,
what's that?
welche Phone hast du?
OnePlus.
OnePlus, ist das Samsung oder iPhone?
I Google.
I'm like,
yeah, we used to have Moto phones.
Motorola?
You know? Did you were the
Back
one
in
who
the days.
introduced me to a Moto?
Oh, the
yeah.
G4. Yeah.
Moto
It
G4.
was like it was
ze had the
affordable.
button
It
in
was
the
a good
back.
phone.
Ze had the on button in the back.
Yeah,
Into the camera.
Could be,
Could
I
be the
can't
older
remember.
model. No, I think
Yeah.
that was the Note. Maybe that was that was Motorola G something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Motorola type had the
But it was
button in the back.
affordable and it was a good phone.
was a good
Whatever. So basically, you want to know the difference between a
difference between
Republican. Okay, so
Republican-
first let me give some background here. Republican doesn't mean you believe in anything. A Democrat doesn't mean you believe in anything. The Republican Party is a platform. If you are more towards like, there's a lot of people in this platform who somewhat agree.
they have the same core values.
Right, kind of. Some of them have a little bit different, but
Again,
it's more the
so-
religious values, more
traditional.
And then, right.
More traditional.
And then there are people that believe more in big. So it's usually people who believe in big government or small government.
Right.
That's what they claim.
That's libertarian and
Right, but it happens to be the more conservative people most of them believe in less government.
Right.
Not all the way. Some people believe in more government, but in different areas. So there's a thing called fiscally conservative, like the people that believe in money, meaning capitalism. So that's usually what ties everybody together, capitalism, and they're more on the Republican side. So the Republicans have conservatives. You can be more conservative. You can be sometimes authoritarian. Also, it means
Correct.
like have people actually enforce conservatism.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So
It's right.
or libertarians.
It's
right,
a
so you can
platform,
be that.
correct.
Democrats have liberals, have socialists, have communists, and have
Communists?
anarchists. The Democrat
Atheists.
side.
Kann so genau sagen.
Atheists.
Yeah, there's plenty. There's
Stop
plenty of
nicht,
stuff.
stop
No, there's
nicht.
on both
Red
sides.
warte.
So the difference between, let's say, a conservative. So it's again. So these are not belief systems. These are parties that somewhat. They basically took America and they said, okay, we're dividing you into two. Which side do you want to be on? It's like color war, right? I don't believe in anything, but we're all on one team.
People believe what is shoved down their ears.
Right. This is saying you have to fit into these two
If
boxes.
you're going to listen to a liberal democratic news station, you're going to start picking up values that they have, because unless you're so strong in your way that this is who you are, most people are like most goyim, I feel like, are somewhere in the middle, and again, I'm not talking about the young people going to college campuses is Einstieg liberal plots where
they
you
teach
do
you
what
this.
you want to do and be who you want to be and do all that kind of stuff. That's what they tell you, which it's wrong. I don't want to get all systemic here and everything. You can talk about this for hours, but the idea is that Republicans don't want to get involved in what you do. You do you make money. Democrats want to have as much as control as possible.
They will
So
have
me
powers.
personally, I'm a libertarian. So you know that I
Yeah.
didn't choose Republicans for a reason. Libertarian means, what is libertarian? The meaning the most
want liberty.
far libertarian. But there's something else also.
What's
Most-
the gelijk tussen
okay.
a Republican and a Libertarian?
It's two different
Not a
things.
Republican. You mean a conservative?
Conservative and
and
a
a
libertarian.
libertarian. Now
Correct.
I'll tell you this: libertarians believe in one zach. It's called the non-aggression principle. It's called NAP in short, meaning I don't do something to you. I can't tell you to do something unless you make me do something. Meaning, if you use force against me, you lose your rights. That's the core libertarian value, meaning including taxes. If I'm not getting what I'm paying for, let's say, I can choose. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different versions of this. It's a very long topic because
Yeah, you could talk
how
about
do you
this for
work out a
hours.
society where there's no taxes? How do you work out such a thing? So there's ways.
So was is takke zij gesh met real estate, the Democrats and Republicans? Was will the Democrat to do any differences between Democrats and Republicans?
I
and
believe-
Private
yeah.
property ownership.
No, a lot of things. So happens to be Biden had just proposed a new tax plan. I don't know if you saw it, but he wants to get rid of a legal loophole in the tax code. It's called 1031 exchange. So 1031, I believe, is where it's located in the tax code, and it's called a 1031 exchange, which means this is for investors. Investors nutzen this allemol, jeden Tag, tagtäglich. The idea behind this loophole is, die was jetzt kaufen an erste real estate investment property. And du bist nicht kein größer Gewier, right? You want to get there. Hypest du mit a $300,000 house. Kaufst and lagst dann an renter, and zult noch 5 Jahren, you accumulated money, was jetzt kaufen ein größer Haus. So I have to sell
Refinanced.
this. Nein, nicht refinanced. Ich verkauf das mit dem Geld, was ich habe gemacht auf der Haus, plus appreciation, the Haus darauf in value, kann ich jetzt kaufen an multifamily für 3 Units. So gewöhnlich, ob die verkaufst an investment property and die kaufst nicht an neue investment property, zahlst du etwas called capital gains, meaning the profit, was die hast gemacht auf der Haus, das ist jetzt so ein taxes, the government will Geld. Aber ob die kaufst jetzt noch a property, it's called deferring taxes, die stippst up the taxes, and die zahlst keine taxes jetzt, and kannst kaufen der Haus tax-free. So it's amazing. For an investor, it's a phenomenal. Jetzt noch 3 Jahre verkauft das, kauft jetzt a building. And the idea behind this is
You're not paying taxes on your sales.
But why would they make that loophole? The idea is, as the biggest house the biggest building, the biggest piece of real estate property that you sell in the end of your life, that's why it's called tax defer. You're deferring your taxes. You're pushing it off. It's not you're pushing it off. So the last sale you make that you don't buy another property, zahlst du a lump sum von alles. Basically, if they letzte building, this is on $20 million, that's what you're paying taxes on.
Gast I bezogen bei der letzte.
The letzte, jetzt.
So wie
Ja.
so wie einer nimmt a Karte, it's a rule, das nicht so kann taxes.
Okay.
Okay, but
Das heißt, du nimmst das so.
ich schippe von Amerika zu Israel a car und ich will sein nicht Israel jetzt, ja? Ich schippe mein car zu Israel. So, das ist nicht so kein Taxes, but lass mich sagen, sie gehen nehmen $20,000, sie gehen es heranlegen in einen Account. Wenn die verkaufst dann car weiter für einen Minute Israel, legt heran an $20,000 und die nimmst es heraus.
Wow.
I didn't even know that.
That's very weird.
So, die zahlst nicht, du...
Yeah, but there, the taxes on cars is, I think, 100%, right?
Yeah.
Very, very.
100%.
That's why people,
It
the
depends
cars
which
over
car
there,
makers. It depends which car makers. I believe Europe told Vine to get a tax. The
carbon emission, like less carbon emission.
no.
cars,
Why do you pay tax? You pay certain taxes because it's coming from out of the country.
Nein. Anyone
Okay.
was kommt von Amerika zu Israel darf nicht zahlen kein Taxes on car.
That's a separate thing.
But einer was went into Israel geht zahlen 100% taxes on car. Because sie wollen nicht so stumm cars. Sie haben
might take the buses
das
and
beste
trains.
I get mit all
bus
the
system in der Welt. But pink verkehrt. Dort, ich hab mich jetzt, dort zahlst du gut nicht, weil wenn die verkaufst der car, nimmst du zurück nach $20,000. Du, wenn die verkaufst der letzte property, dann musst du die ganze Sache.
So right. So Arege. So that's the idea behind the 1031. So you don't have to pay taxes now. You have a certain amount of time.
He's
Whatever.
getting rid of it.
Getting rid of what?
Biden is getting rid of it.
He wants to eradicate it, correct. But the 1031 exchange, was die Chaps nicht, dass ob der Mensch he's 80 years old, and starbt, and es geht seine Kinder, it goes back to zero.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
So
This is what Biden
no.
wants to do?
This
Oh.
is
This is
a
a
1031
alte
exchange.
Sache.
That's an old thing. So
So
basically,
man like to set off auf alte Menschen nochmal der letzte Mal.
nein,
Man
basically,
warte so sterben für 2 Jahre.
yeah, whatever. I guess you can technically do that, but
This is,
I don't.
Noch
I
a loophole and a
I
loophole.
don't. Yeah, I don't know
That's
how that
why
would
this
work.
show is in Yiddish.
Yeah. A legal loophole. But kids, so that's 1031 exchange. So Evil, he wants to get rid of this. Nish Notre Dame, I believe I don't recall what the capital gains taxes was on, if let's say ich have an investment property.
This is federal?
Yeah.
Federal taxes?
I mean,
I didn't know that that's...
To do states, do federal.
This is
different.
income.
This
It's
is
about income or it's about property?
no, it's about the profit I make, or it's about the profit that I made off of. It's going
But
to
it's income. Lamar.
Sales tax.
Okay, so if it's technically federal income tax. No?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean,
Okay, no, but I know it's federal, so it's not like a state in Taka. Biden can
could
technically
be
do that.
right, federal, yeah. So okay, now was I will jetzt auch getan is the
And
capital.
by the way, in Florida, there's no state taxes.
Yeah, I know that.
Right, state tax.
We
Right,
still have property tax, don't
yeah,
we?
property tax. Right.
So do alle meine taxes.
Okay, so jetzt the capital gains tax. Lass mich sagen, ob ich verkaufe nicht aus. Ich retire, ich will das Geld, ich will schon zahlen taxes, right? I believe now, I'm not 100% sure, I'm sure there's brackets, but 16% or something like that, capital gains taxes. He wants to raise it to 43%.
Wow.
So this is going to lock up the market.
Damn, man.
Keiner gaat nicht verkaufen.
Beglau, het weggenommen
It
fracking.
didn't pass yet, by the way. I'm just saying he's proposing this new
Do you
tax.
think
Okay.
it's going to pass?
Het
I
allemaal niet
wouldn't
maakt
be
er
shocked.
executive order.
I wouldn't be
Bye.
shocked the last year he had.
It's not so simple.
What do you mean it's not so simple?
It
That was just signing. That was just von Steider.
No.
Could
Again,
the- I think
there's
the
still
Supreme
there's
Court-
still a house. There's a house, even though the majority of the House is Democrats. Doesn't mean every Democrat is going to agree to it.
Was sag ich, kann machen executive orders. Dit was hij wil. In zijn eerste
No,
woche
things
tegen
have to pass. It has to go through.
override.
It has to go through
There's a-
Congress.
there's a
executive orders.
Again, I'm not sure, but
The president can't make an executive
But
order. Ga hargen en de mensch. It has
Gemaakt.
to be constitutional in Asa.
Dit was wil. Zijn zoek aan
I can't.
constitution.
It was available. If he would do
not
what he
true.
wants,
Dit was aan cabinet wil.
If you bring this to
Yeah.
the Supreme Court, which is hard, but there's a process. There is a legal process.
he wanted to pack the courts as well.
Pack the
Ja,
court.
en
if
Nancy Pelosi heeft gezegd nee.
It's not going to work. They can't.
En
that would
ich halte, ze
be
gaat nog
crazy.
geschehen. Ob ze komt terug als Army president wie hem in the
Oh,
future,
eventually.
in 20
Yeah,
years, 20, 50 years, halte ich ze gaat pack in the court.
It's very possible because the way that both sides.
The
are
regel was
getting,
the
it's getting
Evans-
more and
the
more and
regel-
more left, more and more right.
You do realize
regel was the Evans-
the country keeps on getting more divided.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have 15 20 years today.
We want to go
A
back to
Democrat
the
and a
roots.
Republican, a Democrat, they had different, but they still. There was a certain level of like respect. Like we're on opposite sides. You have different. It used to be about values. I like the big government. I like the safety net, and I want capitalism. I want small government. There's a time
If you look at the map, let's say of every election, it used to be there was basically purple.
Purple,
America
right,
was
was it?
purple.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, it used to be changing different shades of purple, right? Because blue and red. Every
Mixed,
state had
right.
blue and red. The master, some states had more red, more blue. Now, for some reason, you look at the map of this election, and it's getting very, very isolated. The blue is very blue. Red, it's getting much more.
You know that if you look at a map, it's interesting. The elections map in the last one, if you look at it, it's mostly red.
Yeah, because the bigger states.
The bigger
are-
states, the more dense cities, the high populated cities are all blue. Like
No, the bigger states are actually all red. But
no.
there's less people there.
The volume, right? Correct.
So gaat load wiffel vote and wiffel.
The electoral college is
Yeah.
right? Correct.
But also, every state, right? Let's say California, Florida, Texas, and New York has more people in those 4 states than the rest of all the other states combined.
Wow.
Just in those 4.
Really?
I
Yeah,
bet
much more.
I bet dass du sagst, dass Menschen, was am Kamels geht von Wisconsin oder Wyoming. Weißt du, ich mein?
This is a geography problem.
I hear.
Was du New York, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania.
Big states.
I always said this. If you have let's say, all the Yidden, all the Fremme Yidden, they move to Wyoming, we can literally have our own state.
100%.
Really? We can have our own state?
De weiß man kommt zu Wyoming,
Let's go. There's
alles,
nothing there.
You know, the problem is
Alles
since you
is-
can real estate that.
alles is
We'll
groß.
make it.
Sure, alles is land and land and land.
Yeah, die kann gehen dort und kaufen 100 acres for like
Kauf
$50,000.
Kauf
Weiniger.
You can have what do you mean? You can have a whole milchige
Dairy
and
farm?
fleischige industry there.
By the way, ze vond niet geen slechte plan.
Yeah, you sell the other half of the
Why
cow,
are
you
we
sell
here
it anyway.
in New York and New Jersey?
Wel, jeden zijn eigen geween in de main cities.
No, that's
and-
okay. No. Yidden were not. What are you talking about?
Sure.
Look at Europe. When you see Europe,
Wie
everyone
hebben we
was
jeden gewoond?
all
In
over.
London. In grenscheck de
Nein, aber
DF.
in the United
No, not
States. Why did
today.
we end up in
today's
New
day.
York, in Brooklyn?
Was is jeden zijn eigen dort wie de geld is.
Nee,
Jeden
What are you
zijn-
talking about? No,
I
have a theory
After
about
World
this.
War
I have a
II.
theory about
After
this.
World War
After
II,
World
they
War
ended
II,
up here.
Ja.
Ellis
and
Island.
you know why? You know what happened?
Warum zijn geblimmen?
Because they say, ich kann
Weil
du,
du
ich
du
sicher Platz
Job,
wohnen.
du Geld,
Nein,
du alles.
I'll
ich
tell you
sicher
what
Platz
Jeden zijn
wohnen.
eigen geween in de main state.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. You
Of
don't know what you're
course.
talking about. I'll tell you exactly what has happened. Okay, you look at Europe. These little tiny towns are all over. Yidden were all over. Not the main city. They were in the main cities also, but they're all over. Before World War II, America, mostly Yidden. Yeah, there were plenty in New York, but there was plenty of Yidden in Idaho, in Colorado. I think even Colorado. A whole bunch of places where
California.
Yidden are not there now. Yeah,
Ohio.
California is also a
Ich bin gegangen,
place.
ein Schaus bin ich gegangen zu Youngstown, Ohio. Ausgestorbene Studio, was einmal gewesen
Right.
riesige... Du weißt,
Okay, Ohio. What's it called? Is in Ohio.
Ich muss sagen, so am Schillig dort.
What's that city in Ohio that there's a lot of Yidden in?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. So
Cleveland
there's not
doesn't
a
have
lot of Eden, but yeah, sure.
You have
Cleveland's a
out-of-towners.
Yeah, normal, nice community. But what happened is
You have
that
in
when
Missouri
Eden come
also,
here,
right? Missouri.
Yeah, Taka.
By the way, du weißt doch, was jeden haben gewohnt in Ohio?
Aber-
Als ze gewend uit factories. General Motors, dat ik had factories, hij zag jeden om daar gearbeitet.
So
Ze
there was
gewend
a
riesige
Panusa.
business.
Okay, but Lamasa,
And yet it's
when
like
Eden
a
came
Goonish door,
here
it's again
after
like-
the war, when Eden came here to let's say Ellis Island, and they came here, they got off the boat. They didn't have any money. They didn't have anything to do. Right away, you need to find a job. Right away. It's not that the Panusa is here. It's just
But-
right
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
There's nowhere to
government
travel.
Och, was government problems? Wie kommst du
is
von New
before
York?
all that
Wie
stuff.
kommst du von New York zu Wyoming und kein Geld?
How are you traveling?
True, but was met land? Was zijn jeden eigen gewend land? Was zijn
Eden is
jeden...
een
Was zijn jeden eigen gewend in...
What are you talking about?
En nu, wie heißt es dort, wie de innovators am gewend in Wien? Was zijn jeden
Vienna?
eigen gewend in Wien?
They weren't just Eibig, they were there also.
Ja, weil
but
jeden
everywhere around
eigen
they were also
gewend
there.
in de grootste stad. Kijk auf de history van Klal Yisrael,
I
jeden
wanna-
eigen gewend de main cities.
Okay,
Ze
so-
eigen gewend bij de ports.
Nein, ich
there's a difference? There's a difference?
There's
There's a difference between Yidens and an Eibig gewein in the big cities, and there's a difference between saying that and Yidens and an Ochit dort gewein. There was everywhere else. You look at the map of Europe, everywhere else.
Ze gewend veel met der vloggen. Niet
More.
jeden gewend in Peru.
No, they were probably no.
in the main cities.
You can't say it's like this.
You
You can't say it's like
gab's
it's like
vor
America.
World War II.
Yeah.
Ich weiß nicht, jeden zijn gewend Welt.
Sure, of course.
6 million. If World War II would not happen, hast du Ahnung gesagt, jeden wird gewend jetzt?
Du weißt,
We wouldn't be a minority.
Du weißt, dass jüdische Zeitungen sind rausgekommen, jede einzigste Woche.
6
Du weißt, dass jüdische
million.
gewinn a language was millions of
I
people
think.
spoke.
You have how many in the ganze Welt jetzt? I believe ich sag jeden do about 13 million Jeden.
15, yeah.
13, 15. 6 or 7 are in Eretz Yisrael. And noch dem, right, 6 or 7 million? Something like that?
Possible, yeah.
No,
Ganz
maybe
gar
not.
nicht.
Maybe
Weiß,
not.
sag
Maybe
Menschen,
not.
was
More.
du in India.
Yeah.
Could be, whatever.
Maybe more, but kids, but the biggest and but outside of Eretz Yisrael, the biggest population,
New York.
the biggest population,
Population.
population, mit well, obviously,
Population
mit
Talamed.
population is in the tri-state area, right?
Try to kick it's not
Probably New
population.
York.
Population.
I would say,
Population.
I would even make it more. Just New York is probably the biggest. Even in just New York alone, has more than any
now
other state.
Lakewood is making a comeback.
No, but more than any other state. Come on, New York.
New York more than any
I'm
other
not talking
state.
about Frimme Yidden. We're talking about everyone.
Okay, I'm talking about right. Let's
Shom
say
Shabbos oder Bechlau Ayid?
reform.
Identify as a practicing
Jewish?
practicing
One
traditional
second.
anything.
So, one second. So they, Rav Yidden was on, you had American Yidden was going to fight the war, right? There were some,
Of course.
You can point them out in a crowd today, even.
So again, yeah, the Harrys, you know. Everyone has one friend like that, no? I get it, Sean. So,
Nicht bei uns Chassidim.
nine.
Nine?
I'm sure.
Huh?
There's plenty.
Ja?
There's plenty.
Well, she's a Harry.
Moshe
Was?
nicht von unsere. No?
Right. I get it, Sean. So the has the meeste Yidden do, and this was all the people that were left over. Was zijn niet gegarandeerd nog de Krieg. Zijn kunnen do. And how many Yidden are living here in this area? A million, something like that. So stel dich voor, if you had 6 million more people with families, you would have 30 million Yidden maybe now. Like
we would make up a majority.
a huge thing. So imagine grappen is like it's crazy.
Bechlau, the elections in New York City, alles wenden sich auf uns. Chaim
No. What are you talking
What?
about? No way.
I think you're really overestimating us.
Andrew Yang hat zweimal in seinem
Yay.
promotional video
Yay.
het nicht herausgegeben, Bar Park.
Is was?
Just saying.
Is was?
Just
Er will
saying.
our friends, but
There's a lot
Huh?
more. There's a
Because
lot more
Brooklyn-
Hispanics.
Weil hat
Begrijp
a
je
black voodoo. Had a black voodoo.
But it could be.
It also matters. It's not.
Yeah,
it
but it's
matters
not the most. Ach,
Not even close.
New York City.
but wie
New
de
York
guys-
City, Manhattan. Weißt du, Menschen wohnen dort?
It used
Right.
to be. It used to be a
By
little
the way, it's
more.
interesting.
Before now,
It's
now
interesting
tons of
how
people.
Yidden used to live in Manhattan. You know, there used
It
to be
used to be,
shields there.
It's nog altijd do Yidden.
Yeah, but nicht so wie
It's
ze
not the
geweest.
same.
Now, you're talking about. Ze
the
gaan
bar
doen.
park.
Ze gaan doen.
Is die Englander woont in Manhattan?
Much better it is, but
Oh ja? Google us. Google us.
Is raar?
Google us.
Is raar?
He's worth like $7 billion.
That's why he lives in Manhattan. Okay, but
Gekauft was
Izzy, if you're watching this,
sponsor.
he knows how much you make.
Sponsor.
By the way, the sponsor from the show
Yeah.
Yeah.
is lakewoodhost.com.
It's
Yeah,
the perfect.
gezien.
This is the perfect episode to actually talk about Lakewood hosts, because this
Hello.
guy right here sells
Yeah.
houses.
Is Lakewood.
Oh, right.
Ik ben Lakewood Alliance. You know what I'm
He's it is our host in Lakewood.
Hoog Thames River, was had niet kunnen zeggen.
saying? Zij 10 times hebben we
Yeah,
Huh?
they do. They
I
do.
believe
Naam ik
Lakewood
gezogen
House.
Lakewood en Thames River, Jake Turks gezegd dat had niet kunnen zeggen.
Don't get me started on that. it's like, ik ga het zeggen, de mensen was wonen in de Thames River, if I was wonen in de Thames River, zijn ze in Kim Bacon Lakewood. No?
Yeah, we spoke about it.
Right?
The what?
The people that moved
As
out to Thames
mensen
River,
was-
they would have not moved there if there would not be Lakewood.
Oh, that's what I said.
They
Yeah,
piggybacked
dat was
off
hem
of,
gezegd.
Yeah.
there's no question in my mind. Maar Brie,
Everything they get is from Lakewood.
Van de eerste was having moved op Thames River. Ik woonde op Mama's op the border from Thames River and Lakewood. Ik heb een host varen. I think in the 4s or low 5s. Now he can sell it for $1 million.
Wow, that's a good
5, 6
investment.
years ago. But he didn't buy it as an investment.
By the way, he said border. For those that think that I don't know Yiddish,
The Granits.
Just
I'm
gonna
sorry,
say it.
I'm
The
sorry.
Granits.
Rewind. I didn't say anything.
Erik is ook
Granits.
Gainus. Erik is ook Gainus.
It's no Granits is something else. A Granits is such a good word.
ma-
It feels so good when you say it.
Give me that get the Granits. Give me that
Granits?
get the Granits.
Ah, Granits.
No, give me that get the Granits.
The sound we
Gainus?
do a divide
I-
between.
No, I'm not that tired.
Come
I'm
on, give it
actually
again.
very
Oh,
pumped.
okay, sure.
Very pumped. By the way, for those that don't know, we filmed this early morning, 5 a.m.
Ja,
Where's my coffee?
hoeveel
Yeah.
zeggen
Here's my
dus?
co-
He has to go to work
And
soon.
as sushi, 5 a.m.
By the
who
way,
sells sushi at 5 a.m.?
It's 7:35 by the way.
Wow.
Ik dacht dat we gaan daar van een chagres.
7:35. Okay.
En dan leggen frootstes doen. Ze eten nog middag.
Ze eten nog middag?
Nog middag.
In de oven.
In de oven.
In de oven.
So
Anyway,
what's
so-
in the afternoon? Nog middog is in the
Nog middag.
yeah.
Nog
Middag
middag
is
is
afternoon and
It's not
evening.
oven anymore.
Evening is
Now
evening.
it's by ready. It's now it's like.
Wenn einer macht da oven,
Vannacht.
macht er evening?
I get an
Was?
oven. I get an oven. Nee, dat
Ja,
is
wenn ze doen a oven, a
What's
Thai
an
oven,
Event.
a Thai oven. Ja.
Event.
Ah, is dat event?
Is event.
oven. Ik mag een oven in de oven.
In de oven.
So this is the segment where we get corny. For those in the comments, this is the segment where we get corny.
Ja, doe ik maar aan, de
Listen,
show sucked. Ze loont zich
If it's in the
geschwachen.
end already, most people probably
left.
don't make it to the end, so we're still
By the
getting a
way-
thumbs up. And
By the way, I get
Ja.
the 40% watch bij de end.
Ja?
By the way, ik ga de
Nice.
metrics. It's crazy.
Ik ga het zeggen.
Ja,
The
dan
truth
YouTube
is, the truth
watch
is, the
this.
truth is. Gelijk is op een loop. En ik ben probably 20% van de 40%. Ze speelt en ze speelt en ze speelt nog gewoon. Tot Joim van Leila speelt het.
He really
Nice.
likes himself. He really likes himself.
Myself,
So
I
back
wasn't
to-
in a single episode. This is the first time.
Oh, this I thought your thing. Really?
No,
Oh.
no, talk about this thing.
That's
I'm your
because-
biggest supporter here.
That's because you wanted to win the thing from Lakewood Hosts.
Yeah.
You keep watching, you keep subscribing.
Ah.
not
So,
subscribing.
the weiß wenn der Raffle geht sein?
When? Taka, I was waiting.
Okay, so the raffle von lakewoodhost.com, was man gewinnt, weiß
$500, right?
$500
Gift certificate
vacation
on
gift
Lake-
certificate
yeah,
auf lakewoodhost.com.
I wouldn't say vacation in Lakewood, but okay.
Nein, ich hätte mal sagen, für
What
was?
Shabbos?
Weil Lakewood Hosts,
Vacation meinte ich eigentlich.
Right.
Still.
So Lakewood Host hat nicht nur in Lakewood.
Right. you
Sie
go
haben
there.
Toms River, Jackson, Upstate New York, Monroe. Sie haben mal vielleicht gesagt in der letzten Episode, wie haben sie, gedenkst?
I'm in it, and did you say North Carolina or South,
South Carolina,
South
Myrtle
Carolina.
Beach haben sie.
So hast du-
Auf lakewoodhost.com kannst du booken a house in Myrtle Beach.
Etwas der Founders von Lakewood Host hat gesagt, Baba, was meint das? Something Myrtle Beach, is a random town.
Nein. Sagt mich eigentlich, hat jetzt ein Rebbe, was wollte da weggehen, Ruhigkeit, gesagt, ob es der zweite Platz in Florida, Myrtle Beach.
He took a big map, zurückgeworfen von the pen, it landed in Myrtle Beach.
Exactly.
Ich will das.
So lakewoodhost.com is nicht nur Lakewood. It's
So you're saying you can get in a lot of other places.
So
Okay.
wenn einer will
Taka.
weggehen, Chalamoid, dann muss schon nächste Chalamoid, kann
Myrtle Beach.
gewinnen $500, weil lakewoodhost.com.
Sei schein. So,
In-
it's amazing, you know, it's
It
$500.
And by the way, se kezan se gaat kema noch a $500 raffle. So the eerste
Stay
raffle.
tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he likes the show. Is that easy?
So when's the raffle?
So the raffle guides on. Kann man noch applyen to the raffle. Was man darf, the Weg ist, man geht daran the raffle, zu bekommen the $500 vacation gift certificate bei lakewoodhost.com.
Tell it to me.
Is by subscriben, drücken subscribe,
Der Reuter Knappel.
der rote Knappel, und nachdem musst du the bell icon, man darf machen,
Oh,
bekommen
all.
nicht auf, weil Menschen schicken, sein
Right.
subscribed, und
Du drei,
the
das kann
bell.
mit der Bell, was ist angekollert. Der angekollierte Bell.
Savet
Yeah.
Blue, right?
Ze weet Reuter, ze wensen
weiß
gelegd phone,
nicht.
just the Apple to a Galaxy.
Other
No,
than
I'm joking, I'm
OnePlus.
joking.
Other one.
Der OnePlus weet is green.
So, Menschen wasen als gemachte bell icon, but es ist off.
Het is off.
So it's just the opposite.
Turn it on.
Turn it on, and kannst du viele machen all, kannst machen on, see all, mach es all. Also bekommst du everything.
Yeah,
It's worth
And-
it. You can
yeah.
hear some stuff.
great content.
Exactly. And du kannst wissen, wie sie
And
mir
the
invest
sushi.
in ein Haus. Sushi.
Ik ga gerade jetzt gemacht one of my latest vlogs. Ich lief es a vlog. So sound is very hip.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
It's a
Vi-
Zai,
video
by the
blog.
way.
It's on real estate investing.
log.
So go check it. If somebody doesn't know the first thing about investing, it's a very good start to break it down. And there's different types of real estate investing. So I break that down as well.
It's
Du
very
hast
interesting.
fixed and flips mit rental property, mit REITs. REITs, weißt du was REITs is?
No idea. Ich habe ausgefunden noch
Real
ein bisschen
estate,
Channel.
you know what, I'm not telling you. You have to watch it.
Ich habe gewatscht like 3-4 Sachen. I was very amazed. Sehr
Ja.
cool. Sehr.
Hashem.
But lass mich endigen. So,
Ja.
ob man drückt the subscribe button, und man drückt the bell notification button, und man nimmt das Screenshot, und man schickt das zu
Talks at latestsimchas.com.
talks@latestsimchas.com.
You could send it to the Gmail one too, but talks at latest Simchas.
talks@latestsimchas.com. Geist daran einmal, ob du willst daran gehen zweimal in der Raffle.
Comment.
Dann muss das da commenten below. So meint, drück subscribe, the bell, comment below. Nimmst das Screenshot von sei the subscribe plus
Inside
the
the comment.
comment, 2 Screenshots, schickst es heran zu talks@latestsimchas.com.
Zweimal.
Geist die heran zweimal in der Raffle zu gewinnen. A $500 vacation gift certificate.
At Lakewood House. Oh, je was daar aan dreimal, neem dan mama's phone, subscribe by either account.
100%.
Exactly.
This is
Other
this-
than Vab's phone, dan Kind's
Whatever.
phone.
Dan kind's phone, let's not
Gaat
go
de
there,
schule.
whatever. Okay, Lakewood, Moisdesen, kids at, yeah,
Yeah,
shine.
so
very nice.
anything-
Lakewood House is very good.
Wat je zegt, phone is af.
You know what Lakewood House had, by the way? I saw it.
Yeah.
They have a RV. It was not, you
You
want
could rent an RV on Lakewood Host?
I believe so, unless this, maybe it's a company, I don't know. I think it's Lakewood House.
Okay,
I believe it's Lakewood House.
Guys, darf naar Rooskat op zijn channels.
Okay. I believe it's Lakewood House where maybe he had it at one point and he stopped it. But basically, Lakewood, jeder had driveways. Kim's met the RV, gewoon genug plaats voor jeder maar house. Parks this around. You could hook it up to the water. So it betten dort to shine a kleine kitchen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ich habe es actually gesehen.
I believe Lakewood House has it, if I'm not mistaken.
En ich bin gewähnt, wie bin ich gewähnt? Ich denke nicht, welche Area ist gewähnt.
Je hoop het.
Nein, geht
Ja.
zu Leben Lakewood.
Ja, sie gewähnt,
ich
je
habe
hoop
gehad
het.
auf jene Gas auch gesehen.
I know this place. Look
Huh?
it up. Yehopits.com.
Because RVs, was hij verkaufen, meinst du?
Nein, einige hat geparkt, a RV.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, nice.
Why not?
Yeah.
I thought
In front van de house.
Paraguay, RV's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I have a few more questions.
Yeah.
If we have
Okay.
still a little bit of time.
Und haben nicht, was kannst fragen.
So let's find a good question right here.
Ein
Okay.
mehr question oder zwei?
Sure.
Drei.
Okay, so someone asked, he wants to know what's a new good area to invest in the Newark, New Jersey area. Do you know anything about
Sorry, I don't know anything about Newark. I don't sell there. So ich kann doch sagen etwas, and somebody good so I'm not going to
Was
say
dein
anything.
knowledge of Newark?
Newark, als Sachmenschen, East Orange, Newark area. Ich habe gerade mit einer, was dealt mit Hase dort. Wohnt in Lakewood. Sagt, he posted East Orange, three multifamily, 3 legal units for sale. So you have to finish up some construction work, but for a crazy price, $375. Oh, wow, give me some more information. Sagt mich, bist a friend of mine, I can't tell you this. Das heißt, die was schon busy with the tenants do. You get a place where you hast mehr tenants was arbeiten jeden Tag and your water bill isn't high.
Ich habe
So
ein Freund,
this-
was arbeitet in Newark, New Jersey. Er sagt mir, ich hätte schon mitgehalten, 2 Shootings. Das
Ja,
it's
again.
like, ich habe schon gemacht gewähnt dort.
Again, New York City hat weinig shootings.
Nein, but
So
Newark
this leads into the next question,
Okay.
where someone wanted to know a lot of real estate agents, not
Yeah.
you, about the nation.
Nah,
A lot of real estate
I don't know what you're about to say, but
Real estate agents.
Chazashun.
So it feels like they're kind of going behind your back. Like some people tell them, don't show this to anyone else. I want to, go on the contract, let's say, and right away they go to someone else behind your back and they say, someone wants to pay more. Sometimes it feels like they lie to you in your face. A lot of time, right? He is a salesperson.
Was meint zu fragen ist etwas anderes. Was meint zu
Let's
fragen
hear.
ist, für was sind Seisach Agents shady?
Scammy and shady.
You know what he reminds me of? In class, when you ask a question, and the Rebbe says, I'll explain the question.
Gemaz was aan de
Was meint zu
Freaks
sagen...
get, aber
Right.
freak besser.
Right, and then he's explaining, was meint zu sagen a days, and he tells the class,
The same
and
thing.
it turns out it's a beautiful question, I'm just like,
That wasn't my
this was
question.
not me, I'm sorry, but I'll take the credit. I
take
was
the
sitting there,
credit,
yo, ich
Yeah.
gemeint.
Yeah.
Ich habe
gemeint.
in der Kasse gemoeren.
Exactly, I was
So,
that gemeint.
to answer that question, first of all, this goes back to how I started. Work with an agent who has your best interest, not his. Right? So
So du hast eine Sache?
yeah. Yours truly.
No, even if you're a good salesman,
I'll tell you,
you
I'll
can
tell
be a
you.
good salesman by lying, or you can be a good
there's
salesman
honesty,
by selling.
There's honesty and integrity. The brokerage gerade wie ich arbeite in, Good Choice Realty, shout out. So do 6 agents. The broker bekommt tagtägliche calls von agents, was will joinen ihr brokerage. She says no, nicht wegen sie schlecht. Sie will bleiben klein. Every agent there is a top producer, produces, sells a lot. She doesn't want to be volume. She wants quality over quantity. Aber Emmersdig in Lakewood in Sriefman is Yashrus, which means straight, ich bin Yashar. But honesty and integrity, that's what it's based off of. And when you work with an agent who the chances, like you say, why does it feel like I'm feeling? If you feel that, chances are it's happening.
Right.
No?
Right. If you feel like you're being
lied to- after you go.
You should feel comfortable.
I go on a showing with somebody. I say, listen, this floor here, I have a contractor who I just had this with another house that I sold. He switched it out. It costed about $1,500. I'm straight with you. I'm not gonna tell you it's good. It's good. No, it's good. You just scrape it off. You can't even scrape the floor. It's not even wood. It's vinyl. Whatever it is, you work with an agent who you trust and who is honest. Again, I believe that there's business for everyone. I don't view competition as a bad thing. Ich meine, it's a good.
100%.
Competition makes me a better agent because I want to service my clients better, and I care about them. Every client that calls me up, ich will verstehen, wo die dast. Stam dich zu schicken listings in the Welt, and that's defeating the purpose of an agent. Kennst kind of
a good
Zillow.
agent, a good agent.
Someone who cares. So to answer your question, there are those agents. They're not being bad, but they're looking at their pocket and they want to sell you something because they want to pay their bills. So are they doing something wrong? Yes. Are they trying to fool you and lie to you? That's not their intentions, but that's what ends up happening.
At the end of the game, business all boils down to honesty. They was the most honest.
100%. Customer
got
service,
blab in the
honesty,
game.
correct.
Or those who hide their lies much better.
But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, people feel it.
Yes.
Yeah,
you do,
it's something that we
integrity.
call, in the industry we call it commission breath.
Commission breath.
Yeah, because when you call somebody up, it's called commission breath.
Hmm.
You're trying to sell them because you want to make a commission.
I like it.
It's called commission breath. So if you reach out to an
It's
agent,
the man industry. Okay, whatever.
It's a
is that-
khalifa, like
PR,
PR marketing group.
PR marketing, Manager starten.
Huh?
there's no commission
There's no
breath.
commission. It's all
Ze had een
sales.
andere noemen.
Was hat das?
Ich weiß nicht, aber nicht
We'll
das.
come up with something.
Das ist auch kaum
marketing.
You
schwer.
never heard it?
It's called marketing.
Called market. It's called marketing. Okay, let's leave it at that.
So I'm sure a lot of people really got to know a lot of information.
It's my pleasure.
You?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming up,
My
actually.
pleasure.
And thanks for making competition.
Well, I'm knocking competition out of the water. It's just happened now. Baruch Hashem. Listen, the Eibishter hat genug für jeden. Das ist echt.
Exactly. And was ich habe gesehen, ich meine, ich habe gewatscht 4 Videos.
Yeah.
I think it's...
Rabbi Sai, subscribe. Thank you very
Subscribe to his
much.
channel. And
Take a look at it.
Ich kann es actually linken, meine ich. Auf
Yes.
YouTube kann man linken Channels
I
als
think that's possible.
als a Feature.
Okay.
Man kann Feature in Channels, was man hat lieb.
Okay.
So ich kann actually try to linken.
Go ahead.
Definitely.
If you see the video there,
Latest Simchas.
then subscribe to his channel and subscribe to
Yeah,
this channel.
subscribe. That's what I always say. It's free. You can always unsubscribe later if you don't like it. Subscribe.
Exactly.
Gebab.
Ja,
Der Leute Knappel.
Ties für die Kinder.
Ties für die Kinder. All right.
Sehr
nice.
gesund.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much.